Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
When the whole world was dragged into World War III, brave men like my father fought on the front lines. And they weren't alone. That was 20 years ago. Now it's up to us to carry on their legacy. And every so often, the earth from which we come gives way for something new, something greater to be born. And with them, even greater threats to face. Bring it on! Phenomenova. For you, Dad. For you.
Someone says, what's the future? Vaughn Coleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to this. This is something I've wanted to do from the beginning when I was making a comic, and it just became a natural thing, a live Q&A discussion, and I'm proud that my artist is going to be joining with me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Philip Cruz. How's it going, man?
Hey, man. Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be on your show.
Of course, man. It's a pleasure to have you. The audience likes you. They love your artwork. The reviews for this book have been great. Everyone praises your artwork, man. It's your stuff is stellar. You really lift up. I knew when I was getting an artist that I had to get someone who I could really work with, and someone who was going to lift up, my writing, because I knew I was going to make mistakes as a writer, and even if I didn't, I needed someone who had the right style. I went through so many artists, and you were just such a great pick, and it's been a blast working with you, and I'm gonna, as long as I can, keep working with you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, I couldn't do this without your vision, your writing, and it's really a pleasure to be on board with Phenomenova.
Thank you.
I've had a blast. It's a childhood dream to be able to co-create a story like this.
Oh yeah.
And really excited with how things are unfolding with issue number 3 and the villains that we designed. And it's gonna be jam-packed action like coming your way.
I was just doing revisions for issue 3 because issue 3 introduces a ton of characters, heroes and villains. I don't want to give too many details, but I will say Phenomenova, the team that the series is based on, finally shows up in action in issue 3. And I keep rewriting it because it's like probably the most complicated issue I've written. And I want to make it seem seamless and simple. And my editor gave me some great feedback. So I'm confident that this next version should be pretty good. But I've said that about the last few versions. So I was finishing up some revisions before this. But yeah, issue 3, as long as we can keep funding and getting more and more people showing up, we can keep turning it out. But that depends on you guys, the audience, how much you guys really want Phenomenova. Michael Rushbrook says, amazing art, Philip. Michael's a good artist himself.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Of course. Yeah, we got 11 people watching so far. Actually, we got 24 because we also have Twitter. Someone said, I'll be asleep when this airs, here are my questions. All right, we'll see. I don't know how many we're gonna go through, but we'll go through some of these. So first question is from Creative WM Personal. He, by the way, he wants to do a sample coloring. I'll give him like a page of yours to just go nuts on. Not just as a fan. He did not paid or anything. But he says that bully kid I think will become a villain in a future issue. That's interesting. No comment. No comment.
No comment.
No comment. You know, you'll have to see. But I remember I changed his name a bunch of times because I came up with him. He was a goofy character when I was little, and then I started trying to make him, you know, and I was like, that's an interesting thing, and I wanted to like. He was such a goofy character, and then I made him more and more serious. And actually, originally, the main bully was going to be, right. The main bully was going to be the guy in the varsity jacket, and then I went through so many revisions, he ended up having no lines at all. But he was Kyler Nelson, was the original villain. The guy. Let's see if I could. The guy right here. Yeah, I don't know if I remember you reading earlier drafts, but yeah, he was supposed to be the main villain. And then I kind of decided I wanted the high school jock to be something else. And I thought there was almost something scarier about the weirdo trying to impress the jocks, who's crazy even compared to the jocks. I wanted him to be, you know, the main villain, at least in this issue. But where he goes in the future, who knows? But I changed his name. I don't even know if I want to say his original name. It was so goofy. But eventually, Clayton Kilborn. If you'll notice, I tend to like alliteration. But I thought Clayton Kilborn was good. Do all heroes get their powers from those blue crystals? No, they do not. No, they do not. I remember actually we discussed the color of the crystal for a long time. I forget, how did we decide on this color? You think you drew? I think I kind of had the idea, and then at one point I said, "Do you remember?"
I think it was the color artist's creativity that came up with the colors.
I thought it was. Let's see. I have some of your concept art here, for the crystals. Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Right, because I thought it was you, but I guess not. I remember going through crystal designs for a while. But no, they do not all get their powers from blue crystals. Who knows? You might see other blue crystals. You might never see another one again. You'll have to stay tuned. How fast can Galvanite run? Galvanite can run lightning fast, basically. Is like his max speed is lightning fast. So he's not always going to be moving as fast as lightning, but he can run lightning fast. That is what my limit is. He's not going to run as fast as the Flash. I like building limits into my characters, and he's a lightning-based character, so that's as far as his powers go in terms of that. All right. Were there any comics that helped to influence the story of Phenomenova? Oh, God, yeah. In terms of comics, I mean, Stan Lee's Spider-Man run really helped. Going back and visiting that. New Teen Titans by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. I would say I really pulled from everything. Chris Claremont's X-Men run. But in terms of an origin story, you know, I pulled a lot from the first Spider-Man movie. But if we're talking comics, I'm sure I'll think of more later. But the earliest Spider-Man stuff was a big influence. Robin Year One by Chuck Dixon. Because he's asking in terms of influence the story. I guess, were there anything you used artistically as influence for the story? I'm asking you. Philip, can you hear me?
Okay. I thought you were asking the.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Are there any comics that helped influence the story for you?
The look of the characters.
Yeah.
Okay, I think in terms of like in terms of stories that inspired me or inspiration, I kind of like leaned in with your vision of like Full Metal Alchemist and
Ooh, right.
yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. I forgot. So just like the references I sent you in part, because I know you had your own stuff, but in terms of the story, I guess you just kind of pulled from whatever, right?
Uh-huh. Like with Miles Look, it's heavily influenced by a little bit of Full Metal, and I think
Mhm.
it's and I think the hairstyle is has more of like creating a different version of that, like a much cooler and more like I don't want to say iconic, but like something that the hair would like look like very distinct, would have a very distinct look compared to other superheroes that existed before. And
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty okay job with that, and
Oh yeah.
pretty decent ones, because I'm really liking the hairstyle, the look of Miles, and I think it's pretty distinct, pretty recognizable from
Yeah.
from from the other ones that came before.
No, I'm in agreement with you there. I'm in total agreement with you there. I think, yeah, that was a big thing for us. And I'm sorry I went through so many. In truth, there were probably tons of hairstyles that would have been fine that I was just being nitpicky.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, I apologize. I made him draw a
No,
million
no
different
worries, no
hairstyles,
worries.
but you know what? We're past that. Uh,
I think
what's
with
the
all the Mhm.
Oh, sorry. What's the worst comic you read that isn't a modern comic, i.e., before the year 2000s? So I know mine, but Philip, do you have any?
that isn't a mark from before the
Like
2000s.
anything that's bad that came out before the
Uh-huh.
2000s? Because you know how normally if we read older stuff, you search out the good stuff.
Uh-huh.
So have you read anything that's like bad that's older? Because I have.
Okay, I have read some like bad like I don't want to like can I name drop them or
Yeah,
just like
yeah, you could name them.
okay. Uh the 90s Image comics were
Yeah, the
yeah,
art
I
was
mean
beautiful,
the art was
but
beautiful, but I think in terms of the story it wasn't there.
oh
Like
yeah,
after the first comic book that I read was Batman Hush.
oh
So
yeah,
after reading that, it kind of like set the benchmark of
yeah,
expectation for comic books for me, for me personally.
yeah,
And and I bought like tons of like comic books, and I think when I was a kid I bought the comic books that stacked this high,
yeah,
and there were lots of Image comics there, and I remember not liking those, but I
yeah,
did like the art, especially
yeah.
with Pit. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pit, with the Image comics. I really like the art, but
Yeah,
uh, yeah, but the story
yeah,
didn't like after reading Hush, it sets like this
yeah.
high benchmark for it to follow. But yeah,
I'm
that
gonna.
would be my answer. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read a ton of the Image. It's funny. Philip and I, both of our first comic was Hush, and I agree. It sets the bar so high because the writing is good and the art is like amazing. Like every aspect of the book, you know. And then you read stuff after. It took me a while to like adjust to not Jim Lee art because I remember I used to. Nowadays, I feel like an idiot, but when I was little, I got Hush and then a bunch of old Batman comics. And when I was a kid, I felt so spoiled by Hush that I would be like read like occasional old Batman comics, but I was like, this is old. Now I think it's good. But like at the time, I was like, the art, a lot of it, some of it I liked, but it just didn't compare to me. But I remember because like Image obviously was like an artist's revolution, but their biggest problem, I've talked about it a lot, was they were so bitter about editors that they didn't hire editors at the Image, and then they mostly
Oh,
focused on art and not writing because they wanted to be independent, and because of that the writing and the storytelling really suffered. uh um
I
so
didn't know that.
yeah, well, okay, oh yeah, so I'll just give you the quick. So do you know like how Image was founded?
Sorry, how?
Oh, well, so it was like this top 7 artists. I think they were all from Marvel. People can correct me in chat. Felt like they weren't getting paid enough and they wanted to own the rights to their work. So it was Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Eric Larson, Rob Liefeld, Jim Valentino, and Will Spertasio started Image to get away from the big two. But because of that, they were all artists and they just kind of tried to do their own writing. And I haven't read that much of it, but most people say the writing wasn't great, but that their art was amazing. Like I read Spawn #1. I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah.
But for me, oh, sorry.
Yeah, like Spawn is the artwork of Capullo in Spawn is really amazing. It blows my socks off even to this day. It's yeah. But I can't remember the story. I don't think I understand it that well.
Yeah. I only read the first issue. So for me, the worst before the 2000s, I'm going to say Secret Wars 2. Because the first Secret Wars is iconic. The second Secret Wars has one of the dumbest storylines ever. It's like the Beyonder is this all-powerful being, and he wants to figure out how to be human, and he interrupts every single title. Like if you're reading X-Men, you have to stop reading it to read Secret Wars, which would be fine because the first one was awesome. The second one is so stupid. Like there is an issue where the Beyonder wants to be a mob boss. So I'll just explain. Like basically, it's the dumbest thing. So he has all the powers, and he wants to figure out the meaning of life. And there's one part where he takes this prostitute out to dinner, and then he's literally eating the plates because he doesn't understand how food works. And then like the prostitute dies, and he brings her back to life and leaves, and it's never talked about. And it's the dumbest. It's like one of the dumbest stories. I can't even do it justice. But Secret Wars 2 is my answer. Terrible comic. Another question, will there be any homage characters in future issues? I don't know what an homage character is. Do you?
Homage characters.
Are we talking like someone based on someone else?
Yeah, I think that's what he meant, or that's what she meant.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of try and I remember initially like the character who was Golden Gallant was going to basically be like an homage to Superman, and I decided I was so sick of seeing those that I wanted to do something different. And a lot of those characters kind of evolved from that. So I had some more derivative ideas, but I feel like, especially with Philip, like there are characters where I'll come up with, and I'll imagine this generic character, and then he draws something that's totally different and so much cooler. Like some of the villains, like even there's this one character who's this big hulking brute, and he does something that's so much cooler. So I don't know how to answer that question. You'll see more.
I think there's no direct replica of an existing character. I think it's more of like we've taken pieces of characters that we like, and we try to evolve it and design it in a way that's unique, and that will bring something new to the table, right?
I'm in total. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I have my influences, I'll share my influences, but I'm always like, even when I'm mentioning characters, I'm like, I pull from this, but do your own thing. And then sometimes he'll pull from this, sometimes he'll do his own thing, but it's always results in a new character, which is what we want. We don't want to see just, that was another problem with Image, is a lot of those characters were like their version of Wolverine, their version of this. And I don't want to I mean, I'll do that to an extent, but I always try and do something unique. And will you branch out with multiple character stories, or are you sticking with just one series? Well, Phenomenova is going to be the name of the team. And like we mentioned earlier, issue 3 will have a whole team of characters. But I will have other characters in the universe, but Phenomenova is going to be my ongoing flagship title. But like, for example, a lot of people are already requesting more Crusader Corps stuff. I definitely want to do a Crusader Corps miniseries. I would love to do spin-offs. I have a whole bunch of ideas for spin-offs that I don't know if I want to say right now. I have ideas for other stuff in the universe, even like one-shot stories. Like, for example, Phenomenova has characters. If we could have one-shots of like this character doing their own adventure, this character's backstory, perfectly fine. So yes, there will be. We're primarily focusing on one series, but there are other ideas. So, yeah, we will branch out eventually, is my plan. But there are multiple character stories within Phenomenova as well. So, we're going to be branching out within Phenomenova. But obviously, our main focus is this first storyline. And then if people want Crusader Core, we'll do Crusader Core and stuff like that. I don't know if you had any all right, so I have a question. If you were to wait, actually, no, I can't ask you that because I was going to ask you if there were any Phenomenova characters you're more interested in doing a solo story, but we haven't revealed any of them yet, so I can't ask you on air. I want to surprise the audience. Otherwise, Philip, I would ask you that. Yeah, sorry about that. I have to contain my excitement. Does pineapple belong on pizza? I don't really care. What about you? What do you think?
I don't really care too. I think I don't notice.
Yeah,
people notice it that much.
People make such a big deal out of it, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I've never had pineapple on pizza, but I'm like, if someone wants it, I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not gonna. Like, I really don't care personally. What inspired the name of your company, Rebel Oasis? So that's a fun one. Oh my God. So I had originally, it was Torchlight. There was Torchbearer, Torchfire, all these different names. All of them were taken because the point is I was lighting the way for a new generation. I wanted something exciting, something inspirational. Turns out everyone and their mother also thought of that. So there were already a bunch of companies with those names. And I was like freaking out. My buddy Zach, who did this mini print art right here, actually, was on the phone with me, goes, no, what's your company name? And I go, what's the meaning of it? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess because I want to light the way. He goes, no. What's the actual, like, deep down why? And he basically interrogated me until I was like, well, I want to rebel and do my own thing. And I want to create, a place where people who just kind of want to do their own thing without everything being owned can come and hang out, where it's safe away from having to worry about, corporate stuff. Like, if my whole thing when I started my company was I wanted to be independent and have other people be independent. I'm like, well, I guess we're kind of rebels and this would be like our Oasis or something like that. I was like, oh, Rebel Oasis was basically it. It was like, we're kind of rebels in the sense that we're independent, right? And we could do whatever we want and we could hang out. We could create like our own. And that's kind of where it came from, honestly. And that's it. Like, I got to shout out my buddy Zach. He basically held me to the fire. He was like, on the phone with me for an hour, basically. No, that's not good. Why do you want to do it? And I realized that's because I want to create my own independent thing away from everyone. And Rebel Oasis was like, what a perfect name for an independent studio.
Yeah. The name's cool. I was about to ask you where you got the name, and a good thing someone from the audience asked it.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, you could ask me questions too at one point, but I want to put the audience first. We're getting through. By the way, we do have a super chat from Mr. Berger that I want to answer. Off subject, what's going on in New Jersey with those unidentified flying Jones? Coleman is a guest host on the Grassy Knoll coming January 2025. There are UFOs in my state? Okay, by the way, check out Mr. Berger's channel, everyone. If someone mods wants to put his channel, yeah, we're going to be doing a show. I go on there and we talk about UFOs and conspiracies and all that stuff. But if there's UFOs in my state, I want to know about them. So, Mr. Berger, send me videos of that. I'm curious. That's so interesting. Wow, okay. I'd love to do something with aliens at some point too, but right now I'm kind of focused. There's so much going on Earth that maybe we'll get to aliens at some point. We'll see. Oh. Vinzinger, this is a long name. Vinzinger, aka El Otaco, aka the Weeb Pillar. Jesus, that's a long name, man. Sup, amigos. I wanted to ask if his electrokinesis and super speed will be the only superpowers that Blue Crystal gave him, or will there be more powers like flight, super strength, and crystal generation? Electrokinesis, electricity generation, all that, and super speed. That's it for me. I don't want to give him, like, I always like building limits into my characters. And to me, I have more than enough to work with those powers. Artistically too, I feel like, right? Like, do you feel like there's still more stuff you want to draw? Do you imagine more things with his powers that you could do?
No, I think you're right. I agree with you on that part because like giving Miles too much powers uh
Yeah.
will I don't know kind of hinder uh the story and what the story is trying to project to the reader. Like from my point of view, like Miles is trying his best to become better and like making him a lot more stronger than he is capable of, and
Yeah.
will try to like negate those uh, negate the conflict, negate the tension of the story. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I agree with that, and you know having him struggle, having see him struggle is and fight through all the pain, the or of what he's going through. I think it's one of the good aspects of the story that will diminish if we give him too much of of a power of control. Yeah.
I totally agree. And on top of that, like even after the 2 issues, because he's already finished 2, even on top of all that, we barely scratched the surface of what his already existing powers can do. Like, you know what I mean? Like we see him like try stuff with electricity. We see him run around. We see him blast stuff, but we don't see him do anything crazy advanced with electricity. I feel like personally, and I don't know how you feel, but I feel like there's so much more we can do with the powers he already has that he hasn't even tried yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think branching out towards those existing powers is would be nice, but like giving him like new powers that wasn't uh, shown in the first issues would be trying to be would try to negate the some of the story aspects for me personally.
I agree. I agree. There's a reason I always, and plus he's part of a team. So whenever he can't do something, that's what someone else can come in for, you know, and that's what makes it interesting. I don't want him to have everything. Um, I want to ask, how do you guys feel about the anime and manga being more successful than Western entertainment? Do you want to answer that? Or
Okay, how do I feel? Yeah, I mean, like when people ask me what I do, like sometimes if I mention that I draw for graphic novels, I draw for comic books, they would immediately assume that it's a manga or a
Mhm.
manhwa.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I think the popularity is good for the medium, but I think it's a sign. I think we should take it as a challenge. Like for us that creates Western comic books, I think we should take that as a challenge to step up and do something that is equally appealing or much more appealing than manga or manhwa, because I do read manga and manhwa, and I love both of them. I love Western, I love manga, so I think it's really a challenge to take rather than like trying to prove verbally that something is better than the other. I think the work that we do has its own merits, and I think that's the work should speaks for itself.
I'm in total agreement with you there. I think you said it perfectly. I think like my whole thing again is when I hear that, I'm like, what can I be doing better? What are they doing? How do I get that? I think Americans need to learn from the Japanese, from everyone creating manga and manhwa. I think we need to learn how to be better, more like I'm always thinking of ways to get my comic in more hands. And if I had all the resources in the world, I would do it. And I'm always, if you like, I don't know how people like around you read stuff mostly from the stores, or they read online. Like, how do people? Because you're across the ocean, basically.
Yeah, across the ocean. But yeah, some of them have physical manga books. Some of them read it online. But I rarely know some. I like majority of the people I know, the friends that I know, read manga. They read manga a lot, manhwa. So uh, there's only a few people that I know that read Western comics, but I do know some. But the majority read manga. But it's I always try to introduce them to Western books, and I think maybe it's I think marketing too is a big factor. Marketing. I think with manga, they really have good marketing. They're really they're very accessible. Their presence is really felt everywhere with their advertisements and stuff. So I think that's a factor too. But majority of my books are Western, and to this day, I do buy a lot of Western books, like independent stuff, and I do have some manga too. I love both of them. How about you? Do you have like a preference, or like do you like just prefer to read a good story?
I just prefer to read a good story. I've been reading, comics just because that's what's kind of here. But like, I've read manga that I've loved. I need to still read this. I need to finish Battle Angel Alita series. I've been putting it off. But I mean, man, I love Junji Ito's work. I love, I don't watch enough anime, but I love it. And I think that I need to learn from them. I got to figure out where I'm going to definitely put Phenomenova online. There's website. Do you know Global Comics?
This is the first. I've only heard it from you.
Okay, because Global Comics, I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to see what other places I could put it on.
Yeah.
But for now, I want the people who paid for the physicals making sure they have it, and then I am going to put it on there probably around the time I'm going to launch the issue 2 campaign. I want to get as many eyes on this book as possible.
I think it's gonna be a slow process. I no, not slow, but uh, not as fast as like with other books, right? They started out small, and then they eventually when it had more eyes on them, and they started to become successful. So I
Yeah,
think with more like people liking the book, hopefully it becomes it garners the audience that we wanted to have.
absolutely. And we'll put it on. I'll try to make it more accessible digitally. Um, so will there be other young heroes that Phenomenova will meet? Man, so many people have read the book, keep calling him Phenomenova. His name is Galvanite. Come on. In the book, his name is Galvanite. So what are the other heroes that he's going to meet? Phenomenova. So at the end of issue 1, Senshi mentions that he can join another team of heroes like him. That team of heroes is going to be called Phenomenova. You're going to meet the first of them in issue 2. I'll reveal her name on air. It's Estrella. Is going to be revealed in issue 2. She's one of the members, and then you'll meet the rest of the team in issue 3. But yes, he will meet the rest of Phenomenova, the title team. It's a team book, but I wanted to start with one character before building into the team. So yes. Who are your favorite heroes? Or why don't we start with you, since I've been answering a bunch.
Favorite heroes, like I probably go with Batman. Like it's the first comic book that I read, and it made a mark on me since I was a child. It has left like this this mark that that I still cherish as an adult. So yeah, probably Batman.
Batman is my favorite too. I do love Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was a big influence on here. I love the X-Men. But if I were to pick one, it would also be Batman is my favorite. Yeah. Batman is my favorite too. Let's see. And we're gonna go. Yeah, the art looks great. Everyone's saying our art looks great. We're Were there things you changed to help the story visually from what was written in the script? Yes, but Philip, I'm going to leave that over to you. Obviously, you did that. There were a bunch of times you did that that made the script better, which I wanted you to do, right, in the script. I'd even say if you think of something better. And a lot of the time, Philip did. What were some examples you could think of where you did something that was different from the script?
I think first thing that came in my mind right now is I think it was page 28 of issue number 1 where he had this visions of getting struck by lightning, and I think in the script it's like this dream where he where we see uh, uh, stories taking place, like the past scenes taking place in his head. And what we did was like the crystal trying to merge with his body, like trying to show how the crystal changes his uh, physical body, and how it merges with his body. And visually it's one of the probably one of the best pages that I did for the first issue.
I
And
couldn't
the
agree
double page,
more.
right? And I think the designs. I'm really happy with the designs, with how.
Yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't able to give you any spreads or any splashes outside of the first page in issue 2. But we'll mend that in issue 3. You know, sometimes that happens. I hope you still had fun with issue 2.
Yeah. Issue 3 would probably.
Issue 3 is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm finding that. Oh, I scrolled past it. I want to pull it up. Yeah, that page I remember writing because I just had a bunch of information that I wanted to convey, and I came up with that scene. And I basically wrote, there was way more text than that, and thank God I cut it down, especially after seeing it lettered. Well, the letterer did an amazing job, but I still cut it down. But I basically did the stream of consciousness. And what I remember is I gave you a bunch of little ideas, and I basically told you in the script, here are some ideas, go nuts. And then what you came up with was so much cooler. I didn't even know if I really envisioned much. I kind of knew you would come up with something that was cooler than what I had. And you did. Here it is right here. Oh my God. I remember when the colorist first saw that page, he like skipped 8 pages ahead. He's like, I want to color this right now. I'll get back to the other stuff. And I was like, okay. He's like, I already started. Like, he didn't even ask permission. This page is amazing. You know, that's the thing I will say for graphic design reasons, when you're selling the book, showing those splash pages is great. And again, it sucks that issue 2, I don't have as many, but issue 2, I had a lot I wanted to say, and just the pacing of the issue. There is one opening splash, and then issue 3 will have more. Issue 3 is going to have a lot. We're learning each other's balances, but this page, yeah. For me, even the background of this, I don't even know if I want to go into it, but you came up with a background. And I remember I was literally revising the script. I was like, wait, don't start yet. I'm revising the script. And by the time I was sending that message and sending it to you, you had already sent a thumbnail. And I was like, I had spent hours on this. And I was like, don't even worry about, like, I wasted all those hours because what you came up with was so much cooler than without my revisions. And even my original idea, and this double page spread, when I revealed it on Twitter, everyone went nuts. Golden Gallant also had a much more generic design in mind. And I remember if you remember earlier on, I used to go back and forth. I used to be more nitpicky. And then I kind of would pull back and go, no, he's right. He's right with a lot of these changes. You know, and so I apologize for that. But I remember in the beginning, I was a little annoying with it because it was like my baby and I was afraid of letting it go. And now I'm kind of at a point where it's like, you'll come up with something. I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. You know, and I'm actually kind of excited when you go in a different direction. And that's why I've kind of, and it's like, for example, the newer character designs, I kind of was more lax with a lot of them. And the results were, yeah. And so I'm sorry about that earlier on.
Oh, no worries.
But,
no worries.
You know, it's like you've kind of just knocked, and then every single villain design, like there was like a throwaway character. It's like, yeah, this character can be goofy. And then you draw, it's like the coolest thing ever. I'm like, okay, or it could be really cool. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
I try to
I don't want.
balance like realism into the designs.
Yeah.
Like how would this fit if this existed in real life?
Mm.
That's how I think of designs. Like
Golden Gallant almost seems scarier to me because he didn't look like a typical knight. And so initially I was like, I don't know. I was a little iffy. And then I took like a day or so. And then these little ears things, like I was like, why does he have those? And then I was like, who cared? They look awesome. I was like, what am I complaining about? And everyone who would show the design is like, that's awesome. And now I love it. I can't imagine him without it. But I used to want him like more generic. And it's like, no, what you came up with was so much cooler. And it was great. And everyone loves Golden Gallant. I've had people request me saying, can I see the design? I want to just draw some fan art of Golden Gallant. And it's great. So that would be, yeah, there were a bunch of examples. Senshi, I think initially I was like, make her mostly in black. All right, he'll come back. And then he came out with this like red costume. We did back and forth. Yes. He's asking if I disappeared. Yeah, he did disappear. We'll bring it back. All right. This is good. We're kind of ahead of the chat so far. And obviously you get to the front of the line if you super chat, but looks like we're getting to everyone. I'm just flagging some comments, or not flagging, starring. Batman is the best, no denying it, of course. Oh, this is going to be a fun one for him to answer. It depends on the character. I will say that. It depends on the character. Also, I've become more lax, but it depends on the character. Oh, man. I love the Crusader Corps series set during World War III. Me too, man. Me too. It's going to be an intimidating one to write because, all right, I got to send another link. Hold on. For some reason, yeah, there we go. Because basically, it's not like Phenomenova where I have like the whole, I kind of knew which character to start with. I have the whole history planned out, and now I need where to start with chapter 1. But Crusader Corps, and another thing is Crusader Corps have built up as these amazing heroes, and now I have to create a story that lives up to that. Hold on, he's still connecting, it looks like. All right, I'll give it a second while it connects, but absolutely. Absolutely. And if there's enough demand for it, like, because we got to see how much people respond to Phenomenova. Once I'm happy with the Phenomenova, once those numbers are really picking up and we see enough, and I know that I can not only fund it, but make money off of it, then I'm doing Crusader. You know what I mean? Until that point, which hopefully could be soon. That would depend on, you guys obviously promoting it like crazy helps. Telling your friends, telling everyone you know about Phenomenova helps. And you guys make Crusader Corps happen. What's going on? So next comment is from Vinny. Do you think that the story will go into a more with a darker path, because it looked like that with the villain Dark Storm? You mean Dark Cloud? And it gets dark later on. It's still a hero story, and I do have darker stories planned, but I'm focusing on the first arc. Dark Cloud goes to some darker places. Yes. I'm really excited for people to reveal. I'm not going to reveal it on air. You'll find out in the issue, but you'll learn more about his backstory, his motivations. Things will get darker. He is a dark character. Not just in terms of appearances, but yeah, you will learn more. And then even outside of my first story arc, I have darker stories to go, but I never want to lose the heroic idealism. I don't want it to become cynical. So there will be dark story, like it will get darker this first story arc while still retaining that light. And there will be darker stories down the line. But yes, there will be darker stories. There will be. The first issue is a lot more lighthearted and will get darker, but there will always be a light at the end of the tunnel, is one of the things I want to say. But do expect some darkness. Do expect some darkness.
Yeah.
Will it be possible to get issue 1 variants for those who missed the campaign at conventions? So this is why I decided to do it. It's extra incentive for you guys to back the campaigns because I marketed that like crazy. So all of these are limited edition. So there will be some left over. These two in particular, these first two, the Final Fantasy VII homage and the Sukeisha Ray cover, are going to be hardest to get, I think, right now. And then these ones you can also get from me at conventions if you see me at a convention. They will be marked up in price, though. They'll be like probably either 40 or 50. I might even go up to 50 because they're really in demand right now and there's so few of them. Also, I do plan on making t-shirts and stuff like that with that art. I'll probably do art of Phenomenova book, but in terms of getting those issue 1 with those covers, the only way you'll be able to get the variants of issue 1 going forward will be from me at a convention. Luckily, I'll be at a lot of conventions. So if you ever want to reach out and say, hey, are you going to be in this area? I'm working on getting my convention list together, but that would be the best way to get it if you missed the campaign. Issue 1, this main cover, you'll be able to continue getting. And you can get right now on my website. Speaking of Philip, have you gotten your copies yet?
Oh no, I haven't received them yet.
Did you get the track? I can try and get the tracking number for you.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
All right, because getting it.
I've read the whole thing, so.
Okay.
But yeah, well, it would be a different feeling to get.
It is
physical ones.
Oh yeah, it's a very special feeling. I can't.
Yeah. So what's your favorite cover? Like from all the
yours.
What's
I'm sorry, it's yours. Because
really?
This is literally when I first started writing it. I had this you did exactly what I wanted. And then what's cool is issue 2 is the opposite. We did something totally different. But issue 1, I told you what I wanted. I want him holding the crystal. And I remember originally my idea was that he was going to have that look on his face. And then I asked you to try, actually I have the concepts pulled up. I asked you to try other versions. But I think you initially went with exactly what I wanted. And then I wanted to make sure, because I was still kind of scared at the time. I wanted to make sure that there were no. See, there was this one. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, so it started with this. The second one was what I liked, but I wanted. And then, yeah, these are the. Wow. All right. You remember this? This is so long ago.
Yeah.
And then it was like.
Yeah, a year.
Yes.
A year seems like a long time, right? It's just a year.
My God.
Time is fleeting. Time went by so fast.
Oh, I wonder where we'll be a year from now. Yeah, well, we'll do this for issue 2 as well. We'll do it with every issue if you want. Oh my God, man. Wow, we went through all. Yeah, this one right here was the final.
Yeah.
Because I remember, yeah. It was like I was so nitpicky in the beginning, and then eventually now we're at a point where we kind of found our flow.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's see. Will you ever reveal the origin of the crystal? Maybe, maybe not. I did initially, I'll be honest, when I came for years, for most of the time, I didn't have an origin for the crystal. And then enough people were asking me, and I realized that the characters in the story would care and be like, where did it come from? Whatever. And so I realized I had to, in necessity, come up with an explanation. So I do have an explanation. When I'll reveal it, I don't know. We'll see when it feels natural. When it feels natural, when I have a great idea for when to reveal it. I'm not going to take it off the table, but I'm also not going to say that it's a priority. We will see. If enough people are asking for it at enough time, we'll see. Right? Like, obviously, we want to give the fans what they want, but yeah, we'll see. When I come up with a great idea, or if people are screaming for demand, or if you come up with an idea, Philip, and you're like, hey, here's something. I'll tell you the origin I had in mind for the crystal. Did I ever tell you? Because it's not really in the script.
No,
I never did tell you, did I? I never mean to hide anything, by the way. If you have any questions,
no. Yeah, spoiler.
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you like literally everything when you're trying to draw one picture. You know what I mean? Because I have like a million things. but I only want to tell you. Sometimes I give you too much information because I feel like you'll pull from ideas that are over here and put it here and in ways I didn't even think. So sometimes it's good to give you more to work with, or not work with. So you gonna leave? All right, damn it. The next question is directly to him. So hopefully.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh, connecting back.
Hello? I'm
None.
still here.
Yeah.
Hello?
You were away for a while. You're back. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hold on a sec.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. For Philip, where can we follow you in your artwork? Hold on a second. Can you hear me? All right. 1 second. Let me know when you can hear me.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Perfect. So Michael Rushbrook has a question for you. He says, for Philip, where can we follow you in your artwork?
Oh yeah, I do post. I do have an Instagram page. It's called Philip V Cruz. You can follow my work there, but I haven't been active for years now. But I'm trying to get back and like just post stuff,
Yeah.
post new stuff. Yeah.
Feel free to post if you ever want to post something of Phenomenova, you can.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely will. Uh after receiving my copies, I guess like the physical ones, like I will definitely post them up.
And I'll make it available digitally because I know you're in, the Philippines. It's hard. I'll make sure to make digital versions available to buy.
Yeah, the more accessible for other people.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to make that a thing. Hopefully soon. Maybe either this month or next. Might do next month. Make that available.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'll let you know where to get that. It'll be added to
Mm-hmm.
my website. But yeah, that is the place. Everyone put that in. Philip V Cruz on Instagram. I put that link in the chat too. Does Dark Cloud have superpowers or more of a Batman archetype? So I guess because I know the answer to this. Should we tell him?
I think you're the one who can answer that.
Yeah, I am. Because I want to, but I also like the fact that they don't know anything. It's kind of exciting. Let's see. I know the answer to this. I didn't even really know if people were going to think it was a question, but now that people are asking, I think I might just not answer it. I forget. I've probably answered this in the past stream, but you know what? I'm going to say wait and see. Wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Cloud, I like because I like so many people keep asking me questions. I've heard theories on Dark Cloud. People are like, I think Dark Cloud is this character. I think Dark Cloud is. Have I told you, by the way, who Dark Cloud really is? We can't say it on air, but have I told you, right?
I haven't. You haven't told me the backstories of the villains yet.
Really? I didn't tell you that? Because I normally overly explain everything. I'm shocked. I normally paragraphs and paragraphs where you only need 5 sentences. Well, that is a paragraph. But, so I'm shocked. I didn't tell you that. Oh. Oh, well, somehow you killed it on the design. I really never. That's so weird. I can't believe I never told you that. I guess it wasn't necessary. Vaughn, are you pleased with the state of your small business at present? It's never good enough for me. You know, I will say I'm pleased with the progress I've made, but we've got much more to make. What I mean by that is once I could definitively look, I want to be able to be making money off this and putting out products. So at this point, I'm going to say I'm happy with my success. I'm grateful for it, but it's not time to lay down and rest. You know what I mean? It's time to I got to keep ironing away. I'm not quite where I want to be yet. No. So I'm happy with where we're going. We've got momentum to get to where I want to be. So the state of the business, it's a complicated question. Am I pleased with it? I'm pleased with the success I've had, but I want more. Especially like now that we want to start issue 3, Philip, we'll have to talk in terms of how to make it work. But you know, the more money I make, the more we could keep going and going and going. But I want to make sure that we can.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I can't hear you right now. First time I haven't been able to hear you, actually. I'll let him know. There we go. All right, I'll wait. Once he's ready. Hold on. We'll let him know. Hopefully he can figure this out. But yeah, I mean, I have plans. I want to obviously do this full time and everything, but that means I got to get more. So if you guys like Phenomenova, stream it from the rooftop. Tell everyone you know to get it. Tell everyone you know that it's on my website, and we can make things happen. That's what I recommend most. That is the best way to help me is good word of mouth, good suggestions, good feedback. That is the best way to help me. It's the best. Hold on a second. I got a message from Philip. Yes. He did disappear again. He's on the other side of the world. He normally doesn't stream like I do. So it's going to take a bit of getting used to, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll answer whatever questions I can while he's away. How old is Miles in the comic? Because I couldn't really tell if he was a middle schooler or a freshman in high school. Well, I guess that could be. I'd argue that's my fault as the writer for not making that clearer. Yeah. So he is a 15-year-old. He's in high school. Will I hold another art contest? There's going to be one announced. And I don't know if it's about a cover, but it'll be in the winner will be featured in the back of the book. Yeah, I'm going to do an art contest. It was so fun. I'm going to do the same thing I did with issue 1, every issue, basically. Yes, there will be. I'm announcing it this stream. Actually, this stream there will be an announcement of the art contest. Well, I'm announcing it now. I've already said there was going to be one for issue 2, but yeah, it's going to officially start. But yeah, he is 15 years old. He is a freshman in high school. Wow, so you guessed that he was a freshman in high school. You were like, all right, he's either a freshman or a middle schooler. Yeah, he's a freshman in high school. He's 15. How's it going? Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I'm having some problems with the internet. First time this happened yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So Vinny said, Vaughn, did you deeply describe how characters look or give Philip the freedom of full reign on designs? Both. But depended on the character and it depended on when we did it. I'm trying to remember, which characters do you feel like you had the most freedom and which characters do you feel I was most specific on? I guess with issue 1, we'll start with issue 1. I've given him more, I think since issue 1, like issue 3, we just did a bunch. I gave him more freedom on those, but I give deep descriptions, but I give a lot of room. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I think you were like I had all the freedom to do what I wanted while catering to your vision. Like
Yeah.
it's there's a guide, which is your vision, and I can branch off of those, like do my own thing and combine our ideas together to make something, uh, to create the final designs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you feel like I guess it depends. Like sometimes I'll write paragraph. I think some of them I'm like but like some of them I'll write pages and here's reference images, but I'll be like, and if you think of your own thing, but I'd rather give more information while also I'm trying to figure out the way to give just the right amount of information. Like, do you think I give too much, too little? What do you think?
I think it's the detailed description helped a lot, but
Okay.
I do like the direction where we are going with the new ones, like the new villains. I think
Right.
it's the perfect balance of what you want and just like giving me the liberty to go all in with how I imagine those characters, and I think they're totally different uh, from the earlier characters that we designed. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's different in a way that is unique to, like, let's say Dark Cloud, but I think it's different in a good way.
Yeah. Do you think Dark Cloud I was more specific for, right? You would say?
Yeah, Dark Cloud is more specific, and I think it should be because he's the main villain of the story, and I do like how it turned out. The designs turned out. It's I think it's one of the most complicated designs as well,
Mhm.
especially with his arsenal, the guns, and
Oh
we
yeah.
yeah, we
I
have to
knew
think of how functional his weapons are. Like, where will the fees ray integrate into the weapon, and how other uh, kinds of explosives would fit into it while making it look cool. So I think that's a challenge to it.
Yeah, I think I gave a lot of specifics, but again, in certain areas, I'll say other things like his like when he came up with like his armor, and I was like, I think I said I like this. I said I love this helmet, but I said make him bulkier. Um, and then I remember, hold on, where is it? Yeah, we were kind of bouncing back and forth, and then you came up with these designs. Uh, hold on. And then there was these, and this was closer to how we ended up with this one on the left here. Because I remember you would give me, all right, this is how it worked. It was like you gave me this, and then you gave me this and this. And I decided I like this mask the most, but I wanted him to be bulkier. And then you gave me bulkier and then two different masks. And was this the one you preferred too? I forget. Did it? Because I often asked you which of the two you prefer. Did you prefer the one?
I think I prefer the one on the left.
Yeah, this is the one we went with, obviously, because
Yeah.
that face, and then when the colorist added that red glow, I think that you actually might have added that as suggestion.
No, I'm the one who.
Yeah, I forgot you did. Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm giving him credit. You added that red glow. That's right. I see it right there. And that red glow came out soon. I remember the only thing we really disagreed on was you wanted him to be lighter, and I wanted like more gray, and I was like committed to the black. And I do think the gray was cool, but I'm glad we went with the black. I would love to do a grayscale version of the book though, because because holy crap, some of that art in the let me show off the black and white. And everyone here is going to operate under the assumption. Yeah, I never said it, but obviously spoiler warning for this whole thing. I'm going to show you the black and white page because I almost felt the color page looks amazing, but I almost felt guilty because there's so much in this gray page that is. And this is part of the problem with colors is you have to know that there's sacrifices you're going to make sometimes. Like, I think they're worth it. Like, I loved it because there was my original vision. I always wanted to wear dark black. That was something I was committed to, especially because the name is Dark Cloud. I didn't think the gray worked for a character like Dark Cloud. But I can't deny how cool this looks. Like that looked so cool, man. I want to make a black. I'd love to make an artist edition one day. If there's enough people that want it, I would love to release a black and white physical version of this book. Because dude, all of the detail you added here. I remember when I first saw this, it was like, because my childhood version, I had always pictured Dark Cloud, and there was always a blank spot on what his mask looked like. And what you came up with was cooler, and his armor, and this like, because I knew he was going to have plating and everything, but it was looking at the specifics, and yeah, there's more plating here than here than here, the utility belt. Like, it was almost you adding all these little details that I never, like, I had all the general stuff, and you adding all these details. Like, I knew what the gun looked like vaguely, and then you would make it cooler. I gave you so much material, but then you just did some stuff that I never thought of. And I loved it.
Yeah. The designs were, I think it took me a while to figure out the designs, and like I really wanted it to be functional as well. I think the gun is really functional. It's not goofy. It's based on real life. It's grounded on realism. So I think I'm happy overall with his tech, with how he looks. I think he's a force to be reckoned with.
I agree. And I'll ask towards the end, I'll even do a poll. I'll ask the chat, but it seems to me like everyone who reads the book is like, and Dark Cloud, keep in mind, is only in 2 pages of the book. That's it. And he is like almost everyone's favorite character. Or not maybe favorite character, maybe not favorite character, but they're like, his design is awesome. I want to see more of him. One of my friends is like, all right, I'm really intrigued with Dark Cloud. Don't let me down when you reveal who he is. Like, he's like, I'm really excited, Vaughn. You better not disappoint me. And so the pressure is on, which I will say my favorite.
Pressure is good.
Yeah, the pressure is on. People love Senshi, but Dark Cloud seems to be, at least design-wise, the favorite that I'm getting. Everyone, like so many reviews specifically mention Dark Cloud by name. Like so many of the reviews, I loved it. I loved Phenomenova. I really like Dark Cloud. Like he is, and I think it's because the entrance to him is so perfect. Like the way you drew this, again, I was like, I'm going to give you most of a page and then have him react. Because I knew. So who did you, because I obviously gave designs. There's some Batman in there. There's some Mr. Freeze in there. There's some Darth Vader in there. What did you pull from anything that I didn't reference? Like, was there any personal ones for you that you pulled from?
I think
that say it if you don't want to.
Those were the ones that I pulled from, like mainly like Batman. Like if that was my idea. That was my thinking. Like if Batman was a villain, like how would he right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I think he's going to be a great villain.
Like Bane and Batman combined.
Yeah, I could see it, and yeah. All right, so question Michael Rushbrook wants to know, what tools do you use to draw? Clip Studio Paint, Photoshop, tablet, traditional?
Oh, it's Clip Studio Paint.
All right.
But I wanted to make the book traditional, but it would take twice the time, and I don't think we had that. So I'm really happy going digital though. It enhanced the artwork in a way, which like traditional, like it could be achieved in traditional, but it would take twice the time. So I think it worked out digitally.
Which do you prefer?
Oh, I prefer traditional.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe in the future, if you wanted to do traditional, we could. Because I remember I didn't ask you. I just told you when I wanted it done by. I never asked you if you would prefer to do traditional. Maybe we could talk something.
Yeah, I think it will just take longer. That's the problem with traditional ones. But nothing compares to the feel of pen and paper.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Like how much longer? Like twice as long, you think?
Yeah, twice as long. Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? I'm just curious.
It's like with digital, it's easy to to fix mistakes.
Mhm.
It's easy to erase, to to create effects. With traditional ones, it's to in order to create that same effect and that same detail, it will take longer, and it's messier, it's rough around the edges, but it's more fun.
Well,
Yeah.
if you decide you want to do anything, I mean, because I'm not sure, maybe the whole book we need to do digital, time wise, I'm not sure. But
Hmm.
um,
Like I
you know,
could do it on a cover, like cover
yeah,
or
that's what I'm
some
saying. If you don't want to
spreads.
even do that, yeah, whatever. Because obviously we want to make sure you're happy while also getting it out time. Because I do want to hit deadlines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but I also want to understand, and hopefully, at conventions and stuff, you know, we could get you to do commissions or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah, would love
yeah,
to. I think we can do the upcoming cover like traditionally, if you like. I
okay,
mean, we've got the pinups ready, the sketches ready. I think I could just transfer that to traditional, to pen and paper, and just finish it there. Like if yeah, I think I could do that.
gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to see more traditional. I hate because I would say traditional seems cooler too, but I understand it is time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't because that's the thing. That's one of the things you have to learn about comics. You can't have it all. I would love to do traditional. I'd love to also make deadlines. If I have to pick, sometimes I have to. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Because I would love to keep the momentum going. So we'll talk. We'll figure that out. Like definitely the cover. I'll say we could do traditional. Um, in terms of the interior pages, we'll see. But it would definitely be cool to give you also to be able to, if I were ever to buy pages from you, that would be amazing. Because I've got some of the traditional art from the book, like
Mm-hmm.
the
Oh
back
wow.
cover. Or no, my friend has the back cover, but like
Oh, that's additional.
this right here, like that art, in the corner. Hold on,
Mhm.
right there. I have that original art.
Ah.
Um, I have, and I have the Buzz cover original art. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean it depends. Because I remember I think I asked you at one point while we were in. I was like, by the way, what are you doing? You know. So what's the next question? Oh, yeah, the art contest we will announce. Voluntary please to stay small business. Oh, I answered this earlier. I need to grow more, is what I'd say. Need more money in the bank, more fuel in the tank. But I'm happy with the success I've had right now. But we need more if we're going to keep things going. Philip, I'd love to get you also. I'm going to be going to a lot of cons. If I could even get you over here stateside for one of the cons.
Yeah, would love to. Would
All
love
right,
to.
awesome. We'll figure it
Like
out.
do I mean it would be a pleasure to just draw Miles or Dark Cloud or Phoenix
Yeah.
on the spot. That would be cool.
Yeah. Sign it, get to
Like
know
yeah.
people.
Hmm.
Get to meet people. I know you have some of your art heroes. I'm sure would probably be at some of these.
Hmm.
Um, you'll yeah, like that would be fun. We'll figure out a con to go to.
Yeah. Okay. Like I'll try to work the requirements by my on my end, and let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, for Philip, most important. Philip probably doesn't even care about this. Most important question: Tifa and Cloud or Aerith and Cloud? So, do you know what that is or no? It's okay if you don't.
Okay. I've watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, but
Oh yeah.
I haven't played the game, so like I do love Tifa though, like
Oh
from
yeah.
from the uh,
That's my
from
girl.
the Advent Children uh, movie. So that's just my basis. Like I've played the PS1 version though,
Oh,
but
you have it? You have, but
yeah,
not the whole
yeah.
game.
But I haven't finished the
Oh,
whole game. But I wasn't able to because like
it
we
takes up
had
a
a
lot of time.
PlayStation before and it broke, so I
Oh,
haven't.
that
But I'm
stinks.
planning to play the PS5, PS4, PS5,
All right.
PS5.
As a
PS5
hardcore fan, I have to say, find a way to if you have to play it online, play it online. Find a way to play the original first. So I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this, because obviously I did a Final Fantasy VII homage cover.
Yeah.
I am a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, to the point where I did a 2-hour video essay talking about it. 2 hours, spoils the whole game, but the original game is like a masterpiece. And the new ones, I played through the new ones.
The
They're
PlayStation
good.
1. You're talking about the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, the PlayStation 1, but you could also
Is
play
it
it
better than the PS5?
in some ways, yeah, because the problem with the
Wow.
new ones is that they expect you to know the lore.
Mhm.
And then there are times where you're like, okay, cool, and it's perfect. There are times where it's perfect for new players, and then they'll drop shit on you that makes no sense. And like, oh, well, you had to play the original. You shouldn't have to play the original to know the remake. So I would say the original, and I would say the new ones are fun, but I would say play the original first and then play the new ones is my thought process, because it'll make you appreciate the new ones more, and because the new one is just an amazing game. The original can get annoying. Like, you can't walk 5 feet without an enemy popping up, and then you have to watch but like, I love the original. And I say this as someone who I didn't grow up with the original, you know. I just think the original is like, you should play it first. You can play the new ones on their own, but you're gonna have to Google stuff that happened in the original. So that's why I suggest I think playing the original first is I recommend it more personally.
Okay, gotcha.
But
I will definitely play the new one. It looks gorgeous, like visually.
Yeah. Definitely play the new one too.
Mhm.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. And that's the most frustrating part, is that it should be an easier one for people to get into, but they do this shit where they'll like they'll add like timeline and multiverse shit, and I'm like, this is so, because the game is already kind of confusing, and then they make it more confusing. But I love it. Like, I still would play the new ones, but yeah, just be prepared to be confused if you do play the new ones. What will happen is you'll play most of the game knowing what is going on, and then the last act of remake, you'll be like, what is happening? Because that's how it is. So I would say, yeah, like I said, original first, in my opinion, but also play the new ones. The new ones are really fun in terms of the combat system, and they look amazing. But yeah. Will you go more into Miles' mundane part of his life, like classes and relationships? So there's going to be a delay before that. We're going to be away for a long time before he gets back to high school, but you will be seeing him eventually. He will come back after, going on his first adventure and meeting Phenomenova and all of them. He will come back. I haven't written those issues yet, but I haven't planned out. And you will see him try to balance his high school life with now having superpowers. I guess, we've already been going full spoilers. Now that everyone knows he has superpowers, his life is forever going to be changed. And also, he's going to go through some life-changing stuff. I have an 8-issue storyline planned out. Most of the issues are going to be shorter, although issue 3 is going to be like 40 pages, is what it's looking like. But most of them are going to be 24 pages. I think the last one I have at like 28. But generally 24 pages going forward, the first 8 issues. He's going to be kind of away from high school for a while. But then eventually, after that first storyline, I do plan on bringing him back after he's gone through a lot of change, and we're going to see how his life has changed going forward. Are you interested in that, by the way? Because I know, like, you like to draw. Did you like drawing the high school stuff and all that?
Oh yeah, I think I really like the test page that I sent, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that I had to cut that out. There's this expression for writers, I don't know if it's true with artists, called murdering your children, where it's like sometimes you have to take a scene that you love because it doesn't fit. Like, Philip, right now I'm revising issues 3. I'm taking out some of my favorite parts to make room for new parts and to make other parts flow better, because I realized a massive plot hole. Like, the last couple pages, without spoiling it, because you read issue 3, I don't want to say it without, well, I guess I wouldn't be spoiling because it's not there anymore, but there are a few pages you'll notice when I send you updated versions that change. But all right. Oh, you haven't read the script, or?
The updated ones. Like,
Okay, well, don't read it yet. I'll send it to you when it's ready. It's not ready for you yet, but there are some pages, like some action parts that are gone, but in place of some new stuff. Because I think you'll find that it flows better. Hopefully, if not, be honest with me. But yeah. D. James, he says, Comics Mate says, get me over there stateside, Vaughn, buy me a plane ticket. Get your own. I like this is this guy saying this. He wants me to buy him his ticket. Absolutely not. Get your own. I'd love to hang out with you though. Vaughn and Philip, who are artists that inspire you? Philip, I'm gonna let you take this one first.
Oh, like when I was a kid, the first artist to greatly influence me is Jim Lee. But right now, I'm trying to like explore, like from like I've read a lot of like diverse comic books. Like right now, I would say it's Olivier Coipel and Pepe Larraz.
I think we talked about Olivier because I know Pepe Larraz. How's Coipel? Okay, Coipel. Let me see. Found him. All right.
Mm-hmm. Coipel is the one who, like, he has a lot of like
I've seen his stuff.
Stories. Yeah, AVX. Lots of Marvel.
Oh, that
stuff.
was him. Okay.
Siege. Spider-Man. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, his stuff is good. Yeah, I see his stuff and I see his influence on you. Congrats, Vaughn. Peace out from California. Thank you so much. House of M. He did House of M. Okay, yeah, I haven't read a lot of the more recent stuff, and I should. Although I did read House and Powers of X, and I love the artwork. Pepe Larraz's stuff is great. Yeah. So for me, I pull from a lot of people, especially when Philip said Jim Lee, like in issue 3, because I didn't write it like a Jim Lee book that much in issue 1. But going forward, I was like, I'm trying to, especially issue 3 introduces so many characters and so much action. I'm trying to pull more from Jim Lee. But in terms of my artists that inspire me, I mean, I'd say Jim Lee. In terms of inspire my writing style, because I'll look at sequentials, I would say mine. Obviously, I work with Philip. I'm not going to force him to draw like someone else, but I'll send references. I just write how, like, so Claremont worked with so many great artists. He worked with John Byrne. He worked with Jim Lee. And I'm on Jim Lee's X-Men right now, actually. But I would say John Byrne, Frank Miller in terms of his sequential storytelling, one of the best ever. Mark Silvestri, I look at a lot. Obviously, I'm not drawing, but just artists in terms of who's storytelling and just what looks pretty too. Like, because subconsciously when I'm writing stuff, sometimes I'll be thinking of artists and the way they drew things and like how they conveyed the story, so that way I know kind of how to pace out a page. And even then, I'll always tell Philip in my script, I'm like, if you can pace something differently, like I'll give panel numbers, but it's like often, things change, and I understand that. But I like Silvestri's, I like Burns, I like Frank Miller's pacing. I really like David Mazzucchelli, George Perez. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch that I find that I pull from. Yeah, Miller a lot. The Silvestri, I love Silvestri's stuff. But yeah, so you said Jim Lee, Olivier Coipel, and Pepe Larraz are your 3.
That's my go-to artist. Like I do buy some of their stuff just for the art. Like that's how dedicated I am to those artists.
Gotcha.
But I don't think you can go wrong with them. Like I think the story follows as well. Like if you buy a book from those 3, like the story will follow. Like it sure will be a good one.
That's good. Yeah, that's always, I always like it. I hate when one thing I hate, and this is why, like, when I was first about to hire Philip, I actually put you on hold for a bit because I wanted to update my script. One thing I can't stand is when I'm looking at beautiful pages and the script is just garbage. And I'm like, why are you wasting this artist's talent on this hack writing? I see that all the time. There's certain artists and writers that always get paired together in, like, currently at Marvel. I won't mention any names, but I'll be like, why is this artist working with this writer? This writer does not, like, artist deserves so much better than the garbage scripts that they're getting, and they'll make it prettier. But I'm like, what? So that was why I kept upping. Like, Philip makes me want to up my game as a writer, so that way I'm writing something that's worth his time that he's drawing, and that I'm using his artistic talents well.
Thank you, man. That's a huge one.
And I hope I'm doing that. If not, you can always let me know if you don't like something in the script. You can always let me know. Let's see. Vinny said, I really liked how you wrote the character dynamics between Freddy, Miles' friends like Freddy. I felt really nostalgic while reading their exchanges. Thank you. I had a lot of fun, a lot of rewrites to get. I kind of boiled down to the emotional core, and Miles and Freddy, I felt their friendship dynamic was always something. Even when I was a kid, he was based on my old friend. The character is not really personality-wise like any of my. Well, they're kind of like I take aspects from different people. He's kind of an amalgamation, but yeah, I felt like I wanted to reinforce the core themes of the story through their friendship. And I wanted Freddy to almost be kind of not a full-on mentor, but he is almost guiding Miles, and I want him to be just like the great best friend that Miles deserves. And I remember some people actually thought Freddy was annoying because they're like, why is he stopping him from using his powers? And I was like, I get it. Because when I was first writing it, that's what it was going to be. It was just going to be that. But then when I got older and I started writing it, I was like, well, yeah, logically he should be freaking out. His friends and that's kind of what it came from. Like, how did you go about drawing the relationship between Miles and Freddy?
I think like from reading the script on the get-go, like Freddy to me is he will do what he thinks is right for Miles. He will say what he thinks is right. So I think sometimes it's based on fear, based on concern, and I try to express that on his body language, his facial expressions, to how he interacts with Miles. It's more of like the dialogue on how he acts.
Gotcha. So the dialogue you think was really a big.
Yeah, it guided the visuals for sure. Like that's my question. Like, how do you write dialogue? Do you like? I've heard from other writers that they let's say this writer will ride a train and listen to other people talking, and he would write about that. So like, what's your process on writing dialogues with especially with with uh, with this two, like they have like the tightest like uh, tight friendship. Like, how do you create, how do you write the dialogue on that? Like, I'm curious.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good question. So it depends. Because there were rewrites, obviously, but sometimes it's off the cuff. It's a mix of both. Often I will just, and it depends. Like even right now, I was writing some dialogue earlier, revising some dialogue. I kind of have like a, where do I want the conversation to go? But sometimes I just let the words flow out. I just kind of like, Miles says this, then he reacts this way, then is this, and then sometimes I just kind of let it flow out, and then I go back and I edit it and I make it make more sense. Where sometimes I'm like, what are the beats I want the conversation to hit? But sometimes I'll be like, I'm trying to think if like, hey buddy, I heard you got back from, yeah, dude, you're not gonna believe this. Believe what? I will tell you over the phone. Is your mom home? No, but aren't you supposed to be resting? Great, come over now. Like that. Sometimes it just kind of flows out, and then I go back and just kind of cut out some of the fluff. Sometimes I leave some of the fluff in if I, but I'm trying to think. It honestly, to me, is like I know my characters inside and out. And if I understand their circumstances and what I want to convey about the characters, I kind of have them talk like that. But it really just depends on the scene. Sometimes, again, it just flows out of me. But the way it has to be like, I guess, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job answering because
No, I think I understand you. Like with the designs, like with art, it just flows. Like artistic instincts, like
yeah.
creative instincts. Maybe that's what's it's called. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But I do pull from a whole bunch of stuff. I'll pull from comics I like. I'll pull from movies I like. I'll pull from real life conversations. Because I'm very talkative myself. So often I'll be like just making up. Well, what would he say to this? And then I just sometimes in my head I just imagine them talking. And then I just what are they saying? And then I just start writing it down what they're saying to each other.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Like there are times where I've said stuff and then I go, that's really good. And then by the time I get to write it down, the conversation that the characters had in my head is already gone. And I'm like, no. Sometimes I say it out loud. Like sometimes there will be times my mom was like, Vaughn, who are you talking to? And I don't even realize I'm talking out loud. I'm like, oh, no, that was my character. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, that was me. I didn't even realize I was talking. Sometimes I'm just like, that's just it. Like my mom would be like, what did you say? I'm like, no. It was about the story. It was about the story. So it really depends how I write dialogue. But I would say I kind of just know my characters inside and out. And then I put them in scenarios and let them talk to each other. And I kind of have like a beginning and an end goal for the conversation. And sometimes if they go off the rails, like sometimes the conversation goes and I'm like, okay, it's gone on I've been just writing nonstop for too long. Where did I lose my flow? Okay, there. All right, let's rewind from there and focus. Oh, I want it to end up here. That's kind of how I go about it. Sorry if that doesn't make sense.
I think I got you. Like what's like I'm curious. Like, is it okay like to ask like what's your end goal to the conversations? Like, how do you think of that? I'm really curious.
Yeah. So when I think of it, so let me give an example. Like the rain scene. The rain scene. Basically, that was when I kept rewriting because I kept wanting to get it right, and that was one of the scenes that actually everyone loved in the script. And basically, it starts. Okay, so where does it start off? Freddie, why are you here? I want them to argue. Freddie calls him out and he goes, Miles isn't necessarily fully ready to admit that he's wrong, but he's kind of getting there. And he's like, I love you guys. I can't feel the way I feel. And it's them kind of having a moment of accepting before the lightning strikes. It's like, where do I want Miles to be as a character? This is the final note of his normal life before he gets struck. Literally the next page he gets struck. And I was like, where's the last note I want them to end on before their dynamic has to change forever? And I want it to be that he kind of acknowledges that he appreciates Freddie, but I wanted it to explode, basically, get the feelings out of his system, and then work toward the solution. And so I guess that was it. I wanted it to be like, here's Freddie's point of view, here's Miles's point of view. Let's see where they end up. So it's like they confront each other. Freddie has this approach where he's calmer. Miles blows up at him. Freddie snaps back and kind of, mellows it out. And that's kind of where it is, beginning and end point. Or it's like, or for example, when he shows up at the house, I wanted it to be, they explain the powers. Ultimately, they end up talking through their issues and they end up agreeing to train. And I was like, well, let's weave that web. So... like, for example, this part where it's like explaining, so what happened? Oh, this. And then it kind of naturally leads to, he's asking all these logical questions. So you're saying it absorbed into me. And then the next logical question would be, you didn't tell anyone. That leads to an argument, which leads back to Miles is acting this. And then Freddie explains his piece. So kind of I take it to a place. And then if I just find something off the cuff, then yeah.
Gotcha. Like, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was confusing, but that was often what it is I'll let things flow, and then if I find something interesting, I'll expand on it. And sometimes, like, I'll have tons and tons. I have tons of pages of dialogue that I'll save in a separate document. Like, I like something I wrote, but it's not quite right, I'll copy and paste it, put it in a document, and I'm always like, I could revisit it later. And the funny thing is I almost never end up, sometimes revisit that document, but not. Like issue 3, I have scenes in another document somewhere else. Like I'll have dialogue, like 8 different versions of the same conversation.
Wow.
With branching paths until I find the right path that leads me to where I want to go and sounds good. So I'll have the conversation goes in this direction, it goes in this direction, it goes in this direction, and I find the one that's right.
That's a lot of work, like to create this branching conversations, like just to get the right. That's cool. That's cool.
I guess so. Like that's with issue 2, for example. When you read that, you'll be like, I carefully constructed it where every line can lead to this visual. Like this line triggers this person to react in this way, which leads to explaining something about the backstory, which that backstory leads to this. That took a lot, like, of me weaving it so I could do it that way. Like it may just be word bullying. My point is to make it seem like it's just people talking, but what I'm actually doing is telling a story. But sometimes people will just say things because it's funny. Like Miles will have a line where it's just funny. Like with the friends at school, I had like earlier drafts, I had like 10 pages of them just talking. And it was so fun. It was so fun to write them off, ripping on each other off the cuff. There was going to be a part where they were like, Miles was asking a girl out and they're placing bets on if he's going to get rejected. And that was fun. But I was like, but it's not adding to the story. But yeah, so I'm kind of getting better at finding direction. I think that was why I would write those things, because I didn't have the direction. But yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Of course. If you can answer, who is your favorite character in Phenomenova so far? So we're only talking. All right. So should I make the rule for this? Let's make the rule so far, because we're further ahead.
We're further ahead. I think.
All right. Let's start off.
Have a favorite design, like new design, but yeah, I think we'll save it for later, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll talk about by the end of issue 1. Who is your favorite character?
Okay. Probably Senshi.
The Phoenix Senshi. Was it because she was freshest in? Well, I guess you had to wait a long time because Philip drew in chronological order. So were you like excited and waiting to draw her again?
Yeah, I think she's like probably the coolest one. Like I do like to draw her. Like I think that's just why she's my favorite. Like I think she's I love to draw her. Like it's as simple as that.
That's awesome. So did you like drawing issue 2 then?
Yeah, issue 2. Yeah, I love drawing.
Yeah, I wanted to give you more of her in issue 2, and I think you got to draw quite a bit of her in issue 2.
That's true.
So was that more fun for issue 2 or issue 1 was more fun?
I'd say issue 1 was.
Gotcha. Was it just because there was like more like what was more fun about issue 1?
The probably the splash pages.
Okay, gotcha.
But I do love the story on issue 2, like the moments of the tension, the like how I don't want to spoil it, but yeah.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, you can tell me. Yeah, off. Yeah, I know. I want to give you more splashes in later issues. I do apologize.
But I think issue 3 would be the most fun and the most challenging as well. I'm looking forward to that.
There are some great Senshi moments, though, in issue 2 that I love. I can't talk about them, but especially some of the training stuff, some of the fighting stuff, backstory stuff.
Yeah, the backstory. I do love that page. That's probably my favorite one. How about you? Like
I think that's my favorite too. That's my favorite too. That one I like. There's one, you know what? It's going to be in the trailer. So the one where she slaps him across the face. I love that one. That's one of my favorites. I like, honestly, even when Senshi's just standing there talking, the way you draw her, where she's got like some composure, like she's like, it's almost like a commanding presence. Where you kind of are sure, like just without even the dialogue balloons there, you're sure she's saying something that you want people to listen about. Even at the end of issue 1, right? Like she said, people love her. She's just standing there, really, if you think about it.
Like, thank you for noticing the body language. Like that was my goal from when I was drawing her. Like to have this body language that evokes this leadership, this like to show a master of like to show the best of what Miles strives to be.
Yeah, and I think you accomplished it because again, and you contrast it with Miles, where he's like trying the body language, and he just clearly can't hack it. You know, I think she's such a fun character, and I think people are going to want to see more of her. I'd love to do a one shot for Origin at some point, but Senshi, yeah, I think is great. My favorite character. So I'm going off of the problem is I had all these characters' arcs going in knowing the first issue, but I will say favorite character in issue. Because all right, I'm gonna only include characters that are in issue 1. Favorite character, God, man, I can't even answer my own question. I ask everyone else this, and I can't even answer my own question. I mean, I love Miles, but the problem is he's kind of like the main character. He's you spend so much time with him, and it's almost like the other characters are sometimes more special. I mean, Senshi is awesome. I love Dark Cloud. God, why can't I figure out my favorite character? This is tough. This is really tough. They're all my babies. It's like choosing a favorite kid. I love all of them. Miles is almost too similar to me, where I'm like
that's a good sign you'll be a good father because you won't pick a favorite.
I mean, I know I have my favorites. I have my favorite overall character appears in issue 3, but you know what? Let's see. Do I want to go with Miles or Miles, Senshi? I love Freddy too. I love Freddy.
Oh yeah, I feel the same. Like they're all my character wise, like the story wise. I do love them all, including Dark Cloud. But like in terms of like who I want to draw the most, it would be Phoenix.
Senshi.
So
yeah, Phoenix Senshi.
yeah, it would be different for us. So
yeah. Miles. The problem with Miles is in issue 1 he's not quite the character that I want him to be yet. But that's the point. Is he's building up to it. So is he my favorite right now? I go back and forth because I want to slap him because he's such an idiot, but I also love him. Right now, I would say as of the end of issue 1, who is the best character? I would say, God, maybe Dark Cloud. Maybe I'm gonna say Miles, or I'm going to say Miles at the end of issue 1. Mm-hmm. But I would say my top are Miles, Dark Cloud, Senshi, Freddy. Those are the MVPs of issue 1.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Of course, I love the dad character too, but in terms of like the main characters of the story, I would say those are the top 4. I guess I'll go with Miles, I guess, but I feel like it's wrong. That part of me wants to say Dark Cloud.
Dark Cloud. Yeah, I mean, like, I understand. Like, it's hard to choose. Like,
yeah, I might go with Dark Cloud. I don't know because Dark Cloud. I'm going with Miles, I guess, right now. I'll go. Miles. Have you watched Stand By Me? I have. Stand By Me is a great one to pull from with Terms of Friends. I pulled probably subconsciously too, but I did pull a bit from Stand By Me. I might even watch some scenes from Stand By Me in terms of writing friendship dialogue.
That's the Stephen King adapted movie, right?
Yeah. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen. It's
Love
1980s, right? 1980s.
Is it 90s or 80s? Hang on, Stand By Me.
It's 80s, but it's from
86.
the 90s.
Yeah, 86.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, I love that. The ending is very very good.
Brian Blevin said, I can't wait for him to level up and become Phenomena Supernova. Again, his name is not Phenomenova. His name is Galvanite. Come on. Jesus. Well, Blevin, did you even get the book, man? You got to get the book, man. You got to get the book, man. Phenomenova. Yeah, it's Galvanite. Theory. Is Dark Cloud Freddy's dad? Now, what makes you say that, Michael? That's an interesting theory. I'm not going to confirm or deny. This is the second. I think I've heard 2 Dark Cloud theories as to his identity so far. This is an interesting one. Freddy's dad. What makes you say that? And obviously, if he was, I wouldn't answer it. But if he's not, I also wouldn't answer it. So I'm not going to answer that question. But I'm just going to say, interesting. Interesting.
It's cool hearing about theories. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's really
I have a few. Yeah, I've heard a few.
Like from when I was reading books before, like I do used to have like those theories, like where I'm thinking like, who's this? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, it's cool that people are now doing that to what we created. It's cool.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing hearing people. And the thing is, I have the answers to a lot, and I just decide I want them to ask questions because I want them to get excited and wait for the next answers. Another theory earlier in the chat was about the Clayton Kilborn becoming a villain, which is an interesting theory. I had a few. I've had a few. I don't know. You guys in chat, you can come up with some of your own theories right now if you want to throw any at me. But while we're hit a lull in the chat, I do want you guys can keep questions coming. Let's see. I'll make the first announcement of the night. So first of all, I want to say my launch date for the campaign, because December is a tough date. Everyone's saving up for Christmas. By the way, best Christmas gift you can get is by buying Phenomenova. If you're like, I already have it, buy it for a loved one. It's on my website. You guys can check it out. But another thing, I'm just thinking there has to be a moment Miles has to make a tough decision that will impact his relationship with his best friend. Maybe down the line. Interesting. That's an interesting theory. It's an interesting theory. I don't want to say anything. Let's see. What was I gonna... I'll pull up. I have a few things. So, first of all, if you back Phenomenova issue 2, day 1, you will get this Golden Gallant trading card. This was going to be a stretch goal for issue 1, but but that was not made. So for issue 2, only if you back at day 1 will you get this trading card. Not only that, but you'll get a second trading card as well. No matter what day you back, as long as you back the campaign while it is active, you will get another trading card. But day 1, by the way, the target date I'm going for is January 5th. That's the first weekend of the new year. That is or is it 3rd? It might be 3rd. Friday, January 3rd is what I'm targeting. So we will see. I got to make sure that it's good to launch my issue 2 campaign. And the faster it funds, the faster we can get to work on issue 3. But we really got to make sure we get there. So get hyped. And also, right there, this trading card of a new character named Hotline, done by Dan Dahl with art colors by Nick Capone. This trading card will also be available for people that back the campaign. So if you back at day 1, you get both of these free with your order of the book. But you got to pre-order at day 1. Got to back at day 1. So that sounds good. Hotline is basically
this is the first time I've seen this artwork.
I haven't shown it to you yet?
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
I'm blown away with the artwork. It looks good. It looks really
well,
good.
Hotline, the design is great. Sukeisha, by the way, because it's loosely based on her. Sukeisha loved this and loved your design. Loved it. So Yeah,
I really love this artwork. It's really cool.
Hotline was a fun. Oh,
It's
sorry.
great seeing different versions of artists like uh, create the design drawings of our design. So it's really cool.
Yeah, Dan Dahl's artwork is amazing, and Nick's coloring, great. I'm really happy with this, and this will be yours if you back the book. Make sure you get both of these. Hotline is like originally she had a different name, but I changed the character and made her better and made her hot. She is basically the tech support character for Phenomenova. Is her thing. So she's always on the comms and everything. And let's see. Do we have any more in chat? I just want to say to you and Phil, congrats on issue 1. Definitely look forward to future issues. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you so much, Michael. And Michael, I want to get you to do a cover one day. I'm going to get you to do something for me. I just haven't figured out what yet. So yeah, thank you for the high praise.
Thank you for supporting the book.
Yeah, Michael's artwork is great. He's a great artist in his own right. Now, next up, first announcement of the night. We're talking about artists, the fan art contest. So if you remember, I got to let Philip choose the winner for the next fan art contest, and then we had the fans vote on their own. We'll do that again. There's going to be another fan art contest for issue 2, and the winner will get their piece printed in the back of the book, like how in the back of issue 1 we have the fan art winner. Same thing will be true of this one, and also. The winner will also be hired to do a stretch goal trading card, but we have to hit that goal for that trading card to be made. But basically how it happened last time, and if you want to come for the fan art contest stream, we could do that, is we had the fans vote on their favorite piece. And then, oh, wait, shit. I got to clarify then, I guess, in the rules. The fan art contest winner, because there's the fan choice and then there's our choice. I'm not sure if I want to do 2 separate winners or if I want to do the same winner. I guess I'll have to clarify that in the rules. Let me see. What did I write? Winner will... Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have the audience choice winner and our chosen winner, if that makes sense. We could figure that out later on. But for now, just know you're drawing cool art for me, and you'll be either printed in the book, trading card, or both. But most importantly, printed in the book. All right, that's the guarantee. I'll make the trading card. I'll change that possibly. So everyone, basically, you could draw any character that's in Phenomenova. Initially, it was going to be characters that are specific to issue 2, but I decided you guys haven't read issue 2 yet. You're probably just enthusiastic about issue 1. So you could draw any Phenomenova character or characters you want. Just keep it on model. No nudity or anything like that. No AI art. And submit it to us. You follow the format, and we hope to see what you guys come up with. So if you have any artist friends or anything like that, but yeah, I'm always excited to see what people come up with. I don't know if you like that stuff, but
yeah,
I thought that'd be fun.
I'm excited to see what they come up with.
All right, I have it in 2 tabs. Okay, now finally, guys, we've been here all this time. Those of you that are watching are going to be the first to see the Phenomenova issue 2 trailer. Ready? Philip hasn't seen it yet either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Or let me know how the volume is.
I just want to be like the Crusader Corps. The powers I could be. But I failed.
Can you hear it?
It's not as loud as it's not very
Too quiet? Is it
too quiet. Mm-hmm.
All right, I might have to re-upload the trailer with it. God damn it. Hold on a second. Ah! Always something goes wrong, man. God damn it. God, I was so excited too. Shit. Hold on. There's got to be something like. Let's see if there's. Can I raise the volume in the tab? Come on, man. I think that's just the volume in the video is too low. All right, give me a second. God damn it. You know what? All right. Well, I'm going to have to fix this in real time. So while we're doing that, if you guys have any more questions. God damn it. I'm actually pissed. Is there a way to raise the volume of like a whole timeline? Super Tiso, he gave us a great review. He said, Philip, I want to say your art is incredible. You're a hidden talent, and I hope you continue to be great.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like, continue supporting the book, and thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for the continued support.
God damn it. All right, hold on a second. There's no way I could just like boost the. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps.
All right. Damn it, dude. I did not see this coming because I'm listening to it, I guess, on loud headphones, so I thought it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really that quiet?
Like maybe on my part, I'm not sure if that's the experience of the audience as well.
All right, everyone raise your volume. I'll have to change it. Luckily it's unlisted, but raise your S Master Shake to boost mobile that's in. Dude, I don't know what to do, man. I'm trying to figure it out.
There is sound, but
it's very low.
Yeah, it's very low. Maybe it's on my part. I'm not sure.
No, well, if people in the chat are complaining, it's definitely not on you. It's definitely on me. All right. Damn it. All right.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps.
Let me know how that is, chat.
Like my father.
We can hear it, but very low. All right, it's too low. Damn it. All right, I'm going to double the volume on everything.
Okay.
Wait, what was it before? It's 3, or I'm going to make it 6. No, I don't know how to do this. All right. I'm going to have to either manually do it. Yeah, you hear the dog. All right. Shit, man. I'm pissed. Stable volume. I want it audible. God damn it. I'm so mad. It's not the dog's fault. It's my fault. It's here's the thing. This is 100% my fault. This isn't the audience fault. This isn't my computer's fault. I thought it was. Hold on. Seeing how fast I could do this. Fuck. All right. All right, let's see how low it goes. Yeah, exactly. Let's see how it goes. Thank you. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. Not the seamless transition I wanted.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps. Like my father. I thought with my new powers I could be. But I failed. I let everyone down. I got people hurt. I just wanted to make the world a better place. And instead I made things worse. But now I have the chance to make things right with the help of one of the Crusader Corps. The Phoenix Senshi. And I will. I have to. Whatever it takes. I will find that spark again.
There we go. Mike Barron, praise my dialogue.
Nice.
Tiso, you got a quote in there. Yeah, man, I really appreciated your review. All right, so I'll have to fix the audio when I upload it tomorrow, but hopefully you guys could hear it in chat. And yeah, cover A is definitely the sauce. Yeah, he really likes your cover A. It's good. All right. Yeah, the trailer is good. It just it's so I would like people to hear it. So in the future, tomorrow it'll be up. I'll fix it right after the stream is over. I will do that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in for this Q&A. If you guys want to fire off any more questions in the chat, let me know. I'll give like an extra minute. But yeah, what about you? Do you have any questions you want to actually, you know what? Let's turn the tables on the audience. Do you mind? Guys, everyone, I want everyone in the chat. Who was your favorite character in Phenomenova issue 1? That's my question to ask. How did you find Philip as an artist if that wasn't answered? Oh, it wasn't. Through Facebook. Philip, how did we find each other exactly, though? Didn't I make a post like saying I was looking for an artist and you replied to me, or did I find you?
I think it's both, I think, yeah. I think I was curious to read your stuff, like, I think, I can't, because we talked for, I think it was, like, before we started on the art of Phenomenova, we were talking like for like I think a year before. What was it? Like a year before the artworks, or like 9 months before? I can't remember, but
it was a while. I'm sorry. I apologize. It wasn't that long, but it was like a long time. I was waiting to hire you because I wanted to make sure the script was ready and then my contracts are ready and all this shit. And I was like, finally, I was like, screw it, we're going.
But yeah, when I read Vaughn's script, I knew I wanted to be on board with this.
Oh, thank you. Really? Because Matt's script needed some serious revisions. There was like a 10-page scene longer where they're in the high school. And you like that?
Yeah, I like that. I hope to see that. Like really, the test pages that I did with with the scare scene. Like I love that. Yeah. I hope to see more of that. Like I think the readers would love that too.
I think so. All right, so I'll tell you what. Because as soon as the first 8 issues are, you're not going to see the high school stuff for a while. But my first story arc, once I come back from Miles comes back from his first story arc, I do want to be in the high school. I will make sure that he gets some downtime with his friends, because I'm always concerned that people aren't going to enjoy the dialogue and the stuff. And then everyone tells me that they like the dialogue. They like him hanging with his friends. So I need to stop beating myself up about that, because apparently people have fun with that. People want more of that. Do you guys want more of the high school stuff? We'll see. I know. I mean, I would love to.
I do. I know I do.
Oh, well, then you know what? We'll make it. If we want it and we both are passionate about it, it's going to be good. Because we're going to do more. I have ideas for the, and if you ever want to know some of my future ideas, because I'm obviously just focused on what's ahead. But my next storyline is going to set around Miles and the high school. Sounds good on high school stuff. It's very manga-like. Yeah, that was fun. I wanted to show Miles' social life, and it was also I wanted to make sure he had a friend group. I based a lot of them on my real friends, so that was again. You asked me about dialogue. A lot of it I did pull from the kind of shit my friends and I would do, like the stupid conversations we'd have, ripping on each other. Oh, this guy's like, yeah, well, maybe if you did like that. And what I would do is a plan, know the characters inside and out. Like this person likes this person has known each other the longest. This person is the newest in the group. This person's the punching bag of the group. This person is the idiot, and I would just kind of do that and fully flesh out the characters. So that way, when it came to writing the dialogue, it came up like that because everyone had a fully fleshed character. So even though, and it pained me that I only cut it to one scene, but I made the story better because it made it flow better. But that whole scene of them in the hallway reacting to the crystal was going to go on much longer. Initially, they were sitting down in the cafeteria, and I said to make it flow faster by having it be in the hallway. But like, again, that gets to your point where I would just let scenes flow, and they would just talk about whatever. And then as a writer, I realized I had to condense it, and that meant I had to cut some of those scenes that I wrote just for fun. I had to condense because, yeah, they were fun. You enjoyed it, but they kind of, like the bullying scene, for example, another thing, it was supposed to be a long buildup that he keeps messing with him, he keeps ignoring him, and then finally goes, I've had it. That was cool and might be more realistic. That's what it's like in real life. Someone doesn't just go into it, but I wanted to get to the point. And so that's why I had the bully. That's why I decided to switch the bully from the jock who would bully him that way to the more psychopathic one. So that way he has to react instantly. Also because that plans the bullying. Well, there were other reasons, but that was part of it. Is I wanted to get to the point. So Phoenix Senshi is Michael Rushbrook, and Dark Cloud close second. So it seems to me like I know some people debate on their favorite part of the book. Yeah, it seems like the ending scene, because I was almost worried that it ends almost the lecture, but everyone loves the lecture at the end. Everyone loves how Phoenix Senshi just rips into Miles. What are some other favorites? Anyone else? Well, do you have any questions for the chat?
Like what do you guys are looking forward to see in the future of the story or in the future of Phenomenova?
Yeah, that's a good question. What are you guys looking forward to?
Like, is it like action, more intimate scenes, like, or like more vulnerability? Like, what are you guys expecting or looking forward to?
Yeah, that's what I always like to hear too. People definitely Senshi, because here's the thing: people want more Senshi and Dark Cloud. Now you don't get a lot of Dark Cloud in issue 2, but you do get a lot of Senshi, and I think the Senshi fans will be happy with what they see. You get more. That's the thing, though. People don't know they want something until they're reading it. You know what I mean? Like no one knew what Senshi was. Phoenix training Miles, action. Who is Dark Cloud? All right, you get some action in issue 2. You get Phoenix training Miles. Who is Dark Cloud? You're going to wait on, but I'm telling you now, of the 8 issues I've written, my favorite one, and it was true even when I wrote it years ago, and it's true upon rewriting them. My favorite issue that I've written is the one where Dark Cloud's true identity and backstory are revealed. My favorite issue that I've written. even when I rewrote all of them, went back and rewrote all of them after we finished issue 1, or as we were finishing issue 1, I started rewriting the other issues because I had grown so much as a writer through working with you. It had been years because I wrote issues 1 through 8 in college. Revisiting them years later, I'm a much better writer now, and I'm continuing to improve every day. Like even today, I learned some new stuff and improved. Every day I'm improving, which means there was a lot of room to grow. I think of all the issues on both drafts, the issue where we revealed Dark Cloud's backstory is good. More of the world building lore personally. Why there needed to be heroes to save the world, and why did they appear at the same time? Yeah, well, that I will answer. I will tell you what, Tiso. So, like I mentioned, we're going to keep going forward with the Phenomenova story, but I want to expand on all of that by doing a prequel called Crusader Corps, but I need to make sure that there's enough interest to fund it. So, I would love to launch that campaign soonish, but for now, we're just going to keep chugging along with Phenomenova, and I want, if more people are demanding it, and if I know, depending on how well Phenomenova does, going forward, and if it continues to grow, I would love to do Crusader Corps. I think the people will love it. I have it all planned out. I have that, like the answer to that question, like when did superheroes start popping up, blah, blah, blah. How to lead to World War III, all that I plan on delving into with the Crusader Corps series. I will also say in the Crusader Corps that at the start of World War III, the lineup, this is not everyone who was on the Crusader Corps. There were other members throughout the war. Obviously, not everyone survived the war. We know the status of 2 of the characters on this cover. We don't get a peep from any of them. And there's plenty of other members of the Crusader Corps. Our issues going forward are going to be more traditional, like 22, 24 pages. That is the plan. So issue 2 is 24 pages. Issue 3, however, because we're introducing Phenomenova and also a bunch of villains, we're revealing what happened at the reactor. So at the end of issue 1, there is a gap between. So Miles wakes up. Miles wakes up at the end of issue 1, gets lectured by Senshi. But how did he get in the hospital? Did we say how he got in the end of the hospital? Hang on. I'm trying to remember how much we said. I don't know if we revealed everything that happened.
It wasn't all revealed.
Okay. Well, basically, you're going to find out more about what happened during the reactor heist, both before and after Miles. Because you only see Miles goes in, there's already stuff going on. What the hell is happening? There was stuff before and after Miles was knocked out. And that involved the team. Because remember, so pay attention to the hints. But like, for example, there's a reference that the daughter's team is taking off. May or may not be related to, like the detective mentions his daughter's jet. What does he say? There's a line. I'll give you a little nugget that's already in the book. Francis, what's the status on your daughter's team? They're prepping for takeoff now. Okay. And then Senshi mentions a team of young heroes. Maybe they were connected, And so you're going to see in issue 3, you're going to see a Phenomenova and a bunch of villains. And so that issue, I decided an issue is going to be 24 to 28 pages. But to give Philip more room to draw some of those epic splashes and whatever, and also just to make the story better, that issue 3 is going to be like 40 pages, but then it'll go back to 24. So it's going to be like big size first issue, then 24 page issue 2, then 40 page issue 3, then back to 24, 24, 24, 24. That's what I'm doing. That's my plan. Sorry, very long winded, but it's giant size first issue, then 24 pages, then bigger third issue, then back to 24 page issues. That's my plan. That way we can get it out and keep the momentum going too, Have you been liking that? Did you like doing the 24 page issue or did you prefer doing the longer one?
I think the issue 2 is fitting. The page count is fitting to the story, but
yeah.
I think it's issue 2 is like the how do you call this? Like the calm before the storm. So
yes. Yeah.
The calm before the storm. Yeah.
Which is why your cover really shocked me, because you took it in a direction where I was like, holy shit, like, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree. Issue 2 is like the calm before the storm, because issue 3 is going to explode. So if you're like, issue 2 is slower, and then it's going to go, wow, like issue 3 is just, I gonna issue 2. That's why the first
has a lot of things gonna happen. Like,
so issue 1 is kind of
lots of scary stuff. Like even the like if you like Dark Cloud, wait till you see issue 3.
Oh yeah. Issue 3 is gonna have. Yeah, issue 2 is more of like, without spoiling it, it's more like Miles. So I'll give you the basic premise of issue 2. So issue 2 is basically Miles' self-confidence is rattled, and then he's really reprimanded, and learns that his actions at the reactor had further reaching consequences than he thought. And he literally is at a point where he cannot use his powers anymore because he's so upset. He's trying to redeem himself. And basically he has to dive back into his past, with physical training as well by Senshi. Kind of, you see his mental and physical training side by side as he dives into his past and Senshi dives in her past, and they connect it so he could find that spark again and learn how to use his powers. Is basically the premise. He's trying to, almost like in Spider-Man 2, he has to regain his powers, remember why he's Spider-Man. It's kind of a similar thing in issue 2. Is he's learning so he could get it back again. He's really like, the first issue, he gets the powers, he runs in without thinking. He's learning to think and act, and he's learning how to fight. He's learning how to be a superhero. That's what we're seeing in issue 2. Like you said, it's the calm before the storm. And the storm, you're going to be excited. Yeah, you're going to be excited by it. You're going to be really excited by it. Well, everyone now knows Miles has powers, will we get to see how that affects his family? Yes. Here's the thing, and this is the thing about it too, is so right now we have immediate threats that we're pivoting to, but there's a lot of stuff in issue 1, like his personal life, his family, that we're not going to get back to for a while. But know that I have plans on getting back to it. Like, you got to understand, like, there's reasons why superheroes have identities, not just for selfish reasons, right? For secret, like, now there could be a target on his family. Now people at school are going to know. It's going to affect his life going forward. So because he was stupid and careless and rushed into that reactor, he is now going to be dealing with the consequences of that for the rest of his life. And it affected other people too, as we'll learn and continue to learn. We learn more stuff about the reactor in issue 3. But yes, it will see how it affects his family, but just not right away. You will see more of the mom in issue 2. The siblings, we're not going to see for a little bit. But I do have plans for the siblings. Plans for the sister and the brother. Actually, yeah, I really want to write that, but I want to focus on issue 4. God, I really want to. Now I'm really excited to write issue like 9 because it picks up on a lot of plot. That's the thing, issue 1 seems like a really simple issue on the surface, right? Because it's just a kid getting powers. It's a traditional thing. But I picked up so many seeds that are going to come back down the line, like planted so many seeds. And I want to revisit that now. Like, I want to spend more time with Wesley, with Raina, the sister, Freddie, and all the friends. Maybe I'll get to writing issue 9 and 10 sometime soon, if I have time. Running a company is a lot of work, guys, and promoting is a lot of work. So make sure you have, any way you can, share it out. But yeah. Let's see. Any other questions you want to ask the chat? Looks like it might just be only a few people left in here.
Like, I think that's my only question, and I think they've answered it really. Yeah, I love their answers, and
yeah. So thank you so much, man. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you to the ones who read the book, to everyone who supported it, and yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me again. Like, it's fun having to talk about this book, like share ideas and stuff like that.
It's fun to work on it. It's 1 a.m., but I'm feeling inspired to write. It really lights a fire in me. This has been so fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for sharing your thoughts of this interview. You guys are the absolute best. And yeah. And I guess we'll close it out. I guess we'll close out with the issue 2 trailer one more time. But Philip, thank you so much. You're the best, man. And we'll talk more about issue 3 in the future, but I think I might do some writing on it. We'll see.
Okay. Okay.
See. Peace out.
Take care.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps. Like my father. I thought with my new powers I could be. But I failed. I let everyone down. I got people hurt. I just wanted to make the world a better place. And instead I made things worse. But now I have the chance to make things right with the help of one of the Crusader Corps. The Phoenix Setchi. And I will. I have to. Whatever it takes. I will find that spark again.